My name's Luke and I'm the youth pastor here at church, and this is my story. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents were pastors, so I grew up learning a lot about God and a lot about who He is and what He'd done. And I always believed He was real. I always knew that He loved me and that He created me. But I'd always heard that God is after a relationship. He doesn't want religion. And I guess I didn't really understand that until I was about 15. When I was 15 years old, our family went through a pretty hard time, and my dad went away for a few months. And during that time, I'd heard God be referred to as a father, and so I ran to Him. I guess in moments when you're a Christian, when you go through a hard time, you can either run away from God or run to Him. And so I just ran to Him, and that's when I found that God isn't this distant person in the sky. No, He's a God who is here and wants to live life with us and do life alongside us, and be a father and provide for us and care for us and love us. And that's what I found when I ran to Him. I found peace and love, and He provided for me and cared for me as a father. And so I didn't feel like I was without during that season. And from there, from running to Him and finding that He is an intimate God that will provide and care for me and do life with me, ever since then, that's my story. My story is being able to just live life with God. I started to make stands for God in my footy. I played footy at the time, rep footy with West Tigers juniors, and God just worked through that. I just took a simple stand of praying before and after games, and God used that to influence the whole world of rugby league, junior rugby league, and now it's a common thing that people pray, and they have assigned pastors and reverends to pray with teams before and after matches. So it was a pretty cool thing to be a part of and God to use and work through. So when I was about 19 years old, I just decided I didn't want to play footy anymore. It was a massive commitment, 7 days a week. And so I had a year and a half left on my contract, walked away, and around the same time met my wife, Sarah. So we fell in love, got married, and had a baby, a little firstborn daughter, Delilah. And we just decided as soon as we got married that we're going to continue to put God first and trust Him. Then when we had our second daughter, Freya, when we were pregnant with her, we got a bit comfortable, and we said, you know what, God, we want to continue to put You first. And so we were like praying, what's next? And it was about the same time my uncle asked us to move to Tamworth. So Sarah had never been here before, so we came to check it out and just fell in love with the place. So we kept praying and felt like this is where God wanted us to be. And so obviously walking away from our businesses was a bit of a risk, but we knew God's a good Father, He provides. And when we moved here, someone offered to pay our rent, and we've seen just continual blessing like that in our life over the last 6 months. It's just been incredible. So now Sarah and I are the youth pastors here at church, and we're just super excited for what's next. We have the best youth team on the planet, and we're genuinely excited to see how God's going to empower His next generation in Tamworth.